For today's cup of coffee,
we
have horrors from the deep.
The deep sea, the deep ocean, the deep dark ocean, thousands of feet below.
Everything that is in the deep ocean is horrifying.
Except for the blobfish.
No, it actually looks better down there, doesn't it? It's horrifying when it comes up here. It looks like Jimmy Durante.
It's not horrifying when it comes up here. It just looks sad.
Well, it's deflated.
It
truly is deflated.
It's got a nose.
Yeah, God love him. Yeah, they're just
I love that blobfish.
Pitiful. There was like that one episode, the newer episode of X-Files, where they had served Mulder. He had ordered something, and they had served him a blobfish.
Mm-hmm. But when it's actually like in its habitat and it's blown up, it's quite cute.
Yeah. This one is not cute. And from Daily Mail by Stacy Liberatore, and this was May the 22nd of 2024, a deep-sea creature with teeth like pointed shards of glass and a light bulb antenna dangling from its head was found dead on the shore of Oregon.
Don't. It's not just like a light bulb. It's like a cat toy on the thing.
Well, because everything is a penny dreadful anymore.
What the fuck is a penny
Everything
dreadful?
that is reported is in some sensationalistic, stupid way, instead of just telling the story. We were discussing this earlier. It makes my Virgo hurt.
It makes my Virgo hurt, and I don't even have Virgo in my chart.
And it says that visitors to Cannon Beach spotted this lifeless body there a couple of days ago. And it's an anglerfish, and the pictures that I'm going to show you come from Seaside Aquarium, and the link to the article, or the article title, depending on which site you're on, will be in the description box.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it a Pacific football fish, which that's the first time I've never heard it called that. Had you? I had just always heard it called an anglerfish.
No, I've heard it called a football fish before,
Okay.
but not a Pacific football fish.
And it lives in complete darkness at 2,000 to 3,000 feet below the ocean's surface.
They look like something that comes out of a horror movie. Like if you think of piranhas, they look like an offshoot, like a cousin of piranhas.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it says this is only the 32nd time that humans have laid eyes on the creature, and is believed to be the first one to be found dead in Oregon.
Those things live about, 2,000 feet below?
Yeah, it said 2,000 to 3,000 feet below the ocean surface.
How the fuck did it end up on the beach?
That was exactly what my question when I first... and in the rest of the article, it gives you the particulars about the anglerfish, which it's interesting if you want to read that. They're fascinating and terrifying. Why did it wash up? What happened that it washed up?
Because you would think, if it's that many feet below, by the time it starts, if it dies just naturally, by the time it starts to float up, something else would eat it.
Oh yeah, because nature does not waste things.
No.
It doesn't waste any kind of fish or bone, flesh or bones or anything else.
And if it's something that deep in the ocean, it would take a while to float up too.
Yeah.
So then, the math ain't mathin'.
Why? No, it's not. And this reminded me also that back in April, and have a story that is from a website because it's the first one that I came to, and it's called NeedToKnow. And need to learn how to write, folks. I mean, honest to God, really. This was by Lee Bullen on April the 16th of 2024. And an oarfish had been found. Let me get you to the picture of the oarfish. That's what the little anglerfish looks like in his natural habitat. Ain't he cute? Not.
It looks horrifying.
It is horrifying. This is the oarfish. They're horrifying too.
Well, they're not horrifying to necessarily look at. They're horrifying because they're an omen.
They are called yes, they're supposed to be a harbinger of natural disasters.
Like Mothman.
And, yeah, sort of like Mothman. And that this one had washed up on April the 15th, I think.
Uh-huh.
And they called these doomsday fish. And it said that there was a legend. I don't know. It said one local. Who is the local? What legend? Where did the legend come? Learn to write, people. If you're a reporter, ask questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. It's not hard.
Yeah. You said Harbinger.
Uh-huh.
Guess what, so Doctor Who got a new season or whatever. There's a long story about that. Anyway, the main villain in, I think it's the first episode, the character's name is Maestro. And it's basically the embodiment of music. And in the beginning, this teacher was teaching this child, whatever, and Maestro was like, "You don't even know his name? His real name?" I'm sorry. I knocked over the cord.
The equipment.
His name was Harbinger.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. It's predictive programming on some of these things. Anyhow, supposedly, according to this legend that came from someplace, was that if you saw an oarfish, it's a warning sign from higher powers that disasters such as earthquakes are soon to occur. Mm-hmm. And that this oarfish had washed up, and it's like the way this, y'all that's over there on the West Coast, this is how this is written. Y'all can tell me what is real on this. It says the oarfish was spotted on a beach in La Paz, Baja California, Sur, Mexico.
Okay,
which was it?
What do they mean, Sur Mexico? Is that like New Mexico?
No.
Or is it like just Mexico?
No, I mean, there's
no correlation between California and, Mexico is its own thing.
Yeah.
California is its own thing.
Well, it used to be, but anyhow.
Yeah.
We're not going to go down that road tonight. No. But anyhow, it was La Paz, wherever La Paz is.
Uh-huh.
But that's over there on the West Coast, and then for the football fish to wash up there in Oregon, and where we recently had the the solar storms and stuff, the geomagnetic storms.
Mm-hmm.
And Stefan Burns was talking about one of the places that he had said to watch was over there, towards Oregon and Washington State and stuff. When I asked him about New Madrid, because he had drawn this line on his map as far as possibility, the correlation, there are people that are studying a possible correlation between earthquakes and geomagnetic storms, solar flares, all that stuff.
Right.
And so he's one of those people, in that he had had the map of areas to watch.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we've got one of our best earthquake predictors, and that's on YouTube, and UK Blue. He has got amazing accuracy with these things. Mm-hmm. So those of you who may be on BitChute or Rumble and stuff like that, you can hop on YouTube just for a minute, and he goes out and about in these wonderful nature adventures and stuff. So, but if you have questions about it, he's got a channel also. He's got his own channel, so you could ask him, and I'm sure that he would respond to you, as he's able to, if he's got reception wherever he's having adventures at.
Because he has many travels.
He does have many travels.
Take us with you.
So, could this football fish be another harbinger? I don't know. For it to be 32 times that it's been sighted, washed up. I mean, obviously they were talking about washing up because they have seen them when they have done these deep sea explorations. Mm-hmm. That's why we have this one picture of it in its natural habitat.
But for it to float up 2,000 to
highly
3,000
improbable.
feet up, yeah, that is highly improbable. Usually you see stuff that's a bit higher than that wash up, and that's normal, like jellyfish.
Yep. And there has been speculation as far as different agencies and military peoples and stuff like that using different technologies that could possibly damage, some of the creatures in the ocean and have.
It's like, leave them alone. They ain't hurting you.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Some of these people, if somebody's job, if their sole basis of being is developing ways to hurt other people, do you think they're going to be concerned about wildlife?
No.
Right. What a sad existence that would be.
See, I feel guilty even squishing bugs. I can't, and I do that quite frequently. I can't imagine just hurting an animal or a human life without a single thought or care in the world. I can't imagine that.
Well, that's why I question some of these people just because they look human. Are they human? If someone is devoid of the ability to show love, compassion, caring, empathy, forgiveness, all the traits that we attribute to God, are they truly human? Are they just in a human body? We don't know.
And that's like, I understand trees are necessary too. But I fucking saw a face in a tree earlier.
Well, I think you're beginning to see like earth spirits and different things like that.
But it was smiling.
Good.
And it was happy to see us.
Yeah, because they know that we respect and appreciate them.
Yeah.
It's
God's creation.
It
How
is.
can you
We
not?
love the trees. We love because this is who we choose to be. Other people can choose to be this way. To respect all things. Now, we don't go as far as some of these people when they letting rats and stuff get through their dwellings and everything because that causes disease. Oh, I read today, I started to do a story about that they think that the rats during the time of the Black Plague, that they got a bad rap. That it wasn't the rats. They're thinking now that it was actually body lice.
Well, that's already been a theory, like from years ago. Like it was actually the fleas on the rats, and yeah, so and so.
They didn't even, like I said, they didn't blame the fleas on the rats. There was new research that came, I think, out of North Carolina or something like that. If I can find the link, I'll put that in there. That it was body lice. That the mechanism for the plague spread much easier through body lice than it did even through the fleas.
Well, that makes sense, but still, the rats are the carriers.
Not a body lice. Other humans are the carriers of body lice.
That's true. So then what the fuck?
Because people was nasty back during them times. A lot of times, these people that's unhygienic now.
Yeah, I mean, they did not bathe that frequently.
Right, and they didn't understand about a lot of the things and stuff like that. And hygiene is important as far as you've got to have proper sanitation because that causes disease.
Yes.
Even as far as rats and stuff like that. Any time that you have waste products from an animal or whatever, that can be a carrier of disease.
Yeah.
We've known these things for quite some time, and a lot of times we're going backwards on some of this stuff.
That is true, but I have told you, like, for example, pet rats, they are actually very hygienic. But the
Yes.
thing is, you have to clean their cages.
But you also said they pee on things.
Yeah, they do.
And
They
it's
do.
like they're...
It's like
Of
children.
course, it was a specific type of rat. It was that kangaroo mouse, I think, that was the carrier of something that was called hantavirus. Mm-hmm. And that it was spread through the urine.
Yeah, well, certain breeds are definitely more susceptible to disease than others.
Right. So, I mean, and that's just like cats as far as the Toxoplasma gondii.
That's why you get them shots and all
And
that. And
humans, my God, there is a tremendous amount of diseases that other humans can contract through human waste.
yeah, that's why you don't touch shit.
Wash your fruits and vegetables. Put you a little bit of either bleach in the water or put a little bit of soap. You don't know who's out there doing things.
I thought you were going to say wash your ass.
Well, wash your ass too, because you don't want to be going around with stink eyes. As is nasty.
Yeah.
Do not be one of them that's nasty.
Do not be one of the ones that have skid marks in your drawers.
Oh, God. But anyhow,
That's disgusting.
Could this, like I said, we're going backwards. We're going backwards on some of these things. But with this oarfish and with the anglerfish, y'all out there on the West Coast, I mean, it ain't like you can do a whole lot if it hits.
Yeah.
But just heads up, it's never a bad thing for anybody now to have, I think they're saying like 2 or 3 weeks worth of food. I've heard some people say 3 months of food. I don't know. Water, different things like that. And
have
it's like
good shelter.
Yeah, God love those people. I think it was in Iowa that the tornadoes went through. And it's just, we've got a lot of stuff because those solar storms, and it magnifies weather.
Question, you know those storage bins? Those very, very large plastic storage bins?
Uh-huh.
What would happen if someone was in an earthquake and they just hid under one of those? Would that shield them at all?
Probably not. I mean, it depends if something is going to fall on you. That's where you have to worry about the structure that you're in collapsing.
Yeah. But that's what I'm wondering. Would it act like would it be like a steady barrier in some way?
Like I said, if you're in like a basement or something like that, no. If you've got a beam or whatever.
But if you're on the top floor and you don't got a basement.
Well, you've still got rafters and different things like that in a house, and wood and lumber is heavy.
Yeah, that is true.
So I would say that a storage tote would have as much ability to protect you as in the 1950s when they told those kids, in the case of an atomic bomb, to get under their desks.
That was just basically them kissing your ass goodbye.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And so you don't watch it.
Yeah, I think that was it, to make them feel like they were doing something.
Yeah.
Because, panic. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Other than pray.
Yeah.
That's it. So, interesting stuff. But that's everything in the deep ocean. It's scary.
It is scary. And, I mean, that reminds me, like, literally, how... It was like a month ago at this point that I caught 2 oarfish in a row on Animal Crossing, and you're like, oh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I think that was near the time that I had heard about this oarfish, surfacing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Spooky shit.
And you've got some of these educated idiots that they want to sit there and poo-poo all these legends and stuff. Let me tell you something. Some of these people that have lived and passed down these legends for generations, there's a reason that information was passed down.
Yeah, it's not just woo-woo shit.
Every myth, every legend has an element of truth to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, what's the track record on the educated idiots? Not too good at this point. So... heads up out there on the West Coast. Well, I ain't predicting nothing, but it just...
a certain amount of intellect cause, like... What was it? We literally watched a video on it. It was like this... It was kind of like a delusion in a way.
It was. That because that they feel that they are proficient in one area of knowledge, that their ego and their hubris takes over, and so therefore they believe that they are proficient in all areas of knowledge.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, that makes somebody an educated idiot. If you don't know enough to be and remain humble, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Then you've missed one of the key educational things of life on this planet, of being human, which is to know that we know nothing.
Yeah, literally, we don't know shit about shit.
Most of us, as we age, we realize, I don't know shit about shit.
Yep.
And that other people don't know shit about shit either.
Literally, they're just bumbling around, bumbling in life like the rest of us.
Right. And that's okay. If we would learn to bumble together, help each other as a species.
You know, I was talking to my therapist about that. It's like, this is not the time to be divided.
No.
Whatsoever.
No.
If we could just sort of look past our differences and accept them or whatever, and actually just come together and just focus on helping each other and nurturing.
See the commonalities.
Yeah. It's like, what do you have in common?
Right. There's a living, breathing human being created by God.
Yeah.
And it's like some of these people that they want to think that it's like we were discussing earlier. Kid had shown me this individual on TikTok, and for some reason they banned his TikTok account last night. He did nothing.
Literally.
Nothing.
No joke, the last community guideline strike or whatever that I got, like the violation, it was because someone got pissy at me because they didn't like what I commented, and I appealed it, and it was approved, so that strike got removed.
And this one, you don't even
and that
know
was
why.
literally like 3 months ago at this point, so it was nullified. It's perfectly nullified by now. And I didn't get any more community guideline strikes. I didn't get no violations, nothing. They just banned my TikTok out of the blue.
And it's like, God love him. I mean, because he had a little community that he had built up and stuff like that. And that was... You do get close to the people on the internet as close as you can get to internet people.
Yeah.
Because you know they're people.
Yes.
It's just a different type of relationship. But that was very wounding to him last night.
It was.
And you know, and like he has no recourse.
Like they didn't even give me an option to... Like they had like send feedback, but I didn't have the option to even appeal it.
Well, how can you appeal what you don't know that you did wrong?
Exactly. So the feedback that I gave them was like, I don't understand why I was banned.
Right. Well, that was like the strike on YouTube. I'm like, please, in a timestamp, show me where I violated whatever. And nothing. And then for them to threaten me on X.
Yeah.
Because I asked a question that they couldn't answer.
But it wasn't like and that was pointless because at the time that you posted that video anyway, it was perfectly within community guidelines, and it's not fair that they can change community guidelines whenever they want and then go back and just strike it.
Well, they feel
it
like
should be grandfathered in.
They feel like they're holding all the cards. That's the thing right now.
But
and it's like they better enjoy it because God is still God, and at some point he always has the last say.
But with TikTok, I literally did nothing.
Right.
I didn't post any comments that genuinely violated community guidelines. I didn't post any videos that violated community guidelines in the slightest.
That's a horrible feeling, to be accused of a wrongdoing and not even know what you supposedly did.
Yeah, and I'm not the first one to have this happen to either. As far as on TikTok, just someone getting their account just zapped, gone. No reason or warning.
And that's one of the things where they're letting the AI take over and make these decisions, and it, you know,
it's like,
you can't argue with. There's no recourse that a human has against these machines.
Right.
But going back to the reason I brought that up, he had shown me a young man that has a physical challenge that
he got the wings.
Just incredible human being. Mm-hmm. And that he has overcome what other people, as far as a disability, it's a difference. And he explains and edifies. And he's like, this is how I do this. And I thought, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes we look at our own lives and we're like, no, I've got this and I got this going on. We a lot of times get caught up in pity party. And we need to see other people's challenges. Mm-hmm. And then it makes us grateful.
But he taps like his cup or the whatever food it is, he taps it. I love the taps. It's just like this little...
He's
I
great.
love it.
He's great. And it's just... So that's a commonality. That is a human being that he's got challenges, but he's overcome. He's an inspiration.
He is.
So things like that can be... Every human has basic needs. Food, clothing, shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Another that needs to be included in that is a basic need, is to feel loved and wanted, in a sense of purpose. When they design these hierarchy of needs, I think that needs to go back, and we need to go back and re-examine that.
The hierarchy of needs, because in actuality, humans are quite simple as far as needs.
Sure.
Just basic love and understanding and compassion.
Absolutely. Those are more
Empathy.
important. I mean, that's equally as important as food and water and shelter.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
So to find the commonalities with people, and then as far as some of this other stupid shit that everybody's arguing about, stop it. Don't fall into that trap.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
Because that is the devil trying to defeat humanity.
It is.
Don't make his job easy.
Yeah, don't do that.
So, final thoughts, kid?
Oh. California, watch out, because those oarfishes,
Well, like I said...
Any other time that those things has washed up, some shit has happened. It's like
and up there
Mothman.
in Oregon, because that Oregon and Washington State, there was some other kind of fault line up there that I don't remember what, Stefan had said. But, things be shifting.
I hope Yosemite doesn't get destroyed, because I actually wanted to visit there
You do
one
know
day.
that Old Faithful is a volcano, right?
Yeah, I do understand that, but
And Mount St. Helens, I was alive very much when that erupted the last time.
yeah.
So...
I don't want to climb up the mountain, but I do at least just want to see how, like, this area. Mm-hmm. But I hope it doesn't get destroyed. But if it does, it's going to be...
Let God be God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, any of this stuff, prayers, always, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that's in the description box, and I will put links as much as I can. For those of you on YouTube, I try to finagle it. I think I've figured out how to put the links there to where you just have to copy and paste and just put the triple-dub in front of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble at Warlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Warlanda, COCWS. It's pretty cool on there.
Yeah, I have fun on there.
Yeah.
I'm more active some days than others, but everybody is. Life happens.
Yeah. Unless you are chronically online.
No, I'm not.
Not everybody's... The only people who post consistently on there are the people that have no social life outside of the internet.
And that's okay, because they may have challenges that we don't understand either.
Well, like, for example, Iron Mouse. She's disabled. She's chronically ill, all that. So, yeah, her life is online, and that's perfectly fine.
At least she knows she's not alone.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, for people to know that they're not alone.
Yeah. I love Iron Mouse. Check her out, too.
Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Mm-hmm. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yes.
Bye.